Hey everyone, Habpro Garage Doors here. We've got Hunter in frame. He's getting ready to remove this customer's garage door opener. You can see the cover on the ladder. It's an older LiftMaster, 3rd horsepower, probably about 20 years or so old. And the homeowner contacted us, did a few checks himself, and decided that it was DOA and needed to be replaced. So that's what we're going to proceed to do. We're going to take down this old LiftMaster. We're going to put up this nice brand Lanier model 861 beta unit for this customer, and they're going to get to try out a brand new product that very few people have. So the steps we're going to have here first, Hunter's disconnecting the wires that ran to the unit from the safety sensors and the wall control. And then the next step will be to disconnect the arm from the door and from the operator, and then we're going to close the door down and remove the unit. All right, so the first thing Hunter's going to do here is he's going to disconnect the operator arm from the operator trolley. He's going to pull the pin on it. Now, because there's a motor already here, and I showed you the operator arm earlier in a different video, this arm and the new arm look exactly the same. There's no point in removing the bracket from the door, and there's no point in removing the arm. The customer doesn't gain anything by it, just makes new holes in the door, and actually it weakens the structural integrity of the door. So we're going to leave the existing arm, and we're going to close the door down and get this thing off the ceiling. Alrighty, so Hunter's got himself positioned up at the front of the garage, at the header. He's going to pull the pin out of this unit so that it can be removed from the front wall. He's going to take the pin out first, let the operator rest on the torsion bar, and then he'll come back with his impact, and he's going to take that existing mounting bracket down, and he'll install the new mounting bracket. And essentially he'll install the new mounting bracket right back in approximately the same place. Set with the mounting bracket. Now you can proceed to remove the old unit. Alrighty, so Hunter's in position to unbolt the back of the machine from the angle iron. Now typically when you're doing a replacement like this, we'll reuse the existing angle iron. Again, unless there's an alignment issue, there's no reason to make new holes in the ceiling. The old angle's been secured to the ceiling for many, many years without an issue. He will have to relocate the vertical portions of angle iron that secure the motor to the ceiling, but the one along the ceiling, what we call the horizontal angle on the ceiling, that can stay in place. So he's going to go ahead, take the bolts out of it now, and drop that unit to the ground. Of course, you notice that the plug has been removed from the electrical outlet. Always a good idea to unpower the unit before you start doing this kind of work. Alrighty, so we've got this nice Model 861 motor head sitting on the ground. We put it on a piece of cardboard to protect it, keep it from getting scratched up. We've got the rail sitting here ready to go, and Hunter's going to position the rail on the motor head and fasten it to the motor head with the 4 fasteners provided. Now you can see he twisted the motor head a little bit to get it to sit down in its proper position. He's going to start the 4 bolts, and once they're started and they're all in place, then he'll go ahead and turn them all. Alright, so everything's ready to mount up. Hunter's got his ladders in position. Since he's technically installing this by himself, he's going to rest one end of the motor over the torsion bar, He's going to carefully press the other end of the motor on the ladder so that it will stay in place and not slide off. Alrighty, so everything's in position. Hunter's going to use the front mounting pin. It'll fasten the operator to the header bracket, and he's going to pull it up and put it in place. Real simple process. The pin just goes through the 4 holes, and then there's a little clip on the other end that holds it in place. Once that's secure, the front of the motor's not going anywhere, and then he's going to move to the back and fasten the back. Alrighty, so Hunter's ready to fasten the back of the motor to the ceiling. Had to make a few modifications. The roof trusses run perpendicular to the operator. So it's either catch the roof truss in front or catch the roof truss that's way back behind him. So we're choosing to catch the ones in the front. Had to trim a little bit of the egg iron off so everything would clear. And he's going to go ahead and mount this thing up there. You can see how lightweight the unit is. He's able to easily hold it up with one hand. Alright, so we're actually going to go ahead and skip a step with hooking up the low voltage wires because we don't know which set of wires goes to the safety sensors or which ones go to the wall control. So we're going to skip that, we'll come back to it, we're going to go down and we're going to mount the safety sensors and wire those. Alright, so Hunter's going to remove the old LiftMaster sensors, the brackets just clip on the track. He's going to disconnect the wires. Takes a little bit of effort to pull them off the track, and then the wire has been connected and stuffed back in the wall, so he's going to have to carefully get that out of the wall. And you never know what you're going to find when you're dealing with this. You'll notice there's 2 sets of wires there, so one set jumps over to the other side and one set goes back to the motor, so you have to pay attention to the colors that are connected. You notice the old ones were taped up. He's going to use wire nuts on the new ones. Strip the wires clean and start from scratch. Now, an important note here, if you were installing the LiftMaster operator, the wires are polarized, so you would have to specifically hook the positive to the positive and the negative to the negative. Because this particular product is not polarized, you can hook the wires on the safety sensor either way and it'll still function properly. Alright, Hunter's going to go ahead and mount the new bracket to the track. And because this particular track has the brackets riveted on, there's no bolts or track bolts as we call them. He's going to insert a track bolt to hold the bracket in place. Then he's going to mount the sensor on the bracket and make the wire connections. So in this case, you'll notice that he cut the excess wire off. That's because the sensors come with a length of wire, approximately 25 feet on each sensor, so that you can run directly back to the motor. In this case, this house was pre-wired for the safety sensors and the wires run through the wall. So he cut off the excess wire and he's going to make the connections there with some wire nut. Alright, so you can see Hunter's got the wires reconnected. He's got wire nuts on them, which are far better than tape. And then normally what we'll do, since there's a hole in the wall, we don't want those wire nuts sticking out where they can possibly get knocked off the wires. He's going to carefully insert that back into the wall. And Once that's inserted to the wall, he's going to move to the other side. Now you'll notice that excess wire's hanging there. We will come back and staple that wire to the wall with a stapler. All right, Hunter's preparing to remove the old sensor from the other side. And he'll mount the new sensor and wire everything. All right, so Hunter's got the other sensor mounted on the track. He's got it wired. He's tucking the wire nuts back into the wall. And like I say, we'll come back before we're finished and we'll staple the wires to the wall. We're gonna move up to the operator arm and attach it to the trolley of the operator next. Okay, so Hunter's gonna pull the door down and attach the safety disconnect rope or the emergency pull, however you wanna refer to it. All right, you'll see the emergency disconnect rope is attached to the trolley. The arm's attached to the trolley, and now we're ready to go back and connect some wires and supply power to the motor. Hunter's gonna drop the back cover, and he's gonna mount the power supply wire through the case, along with the wiring for the safety sensor and the wall control. All right, you'll see that Hunter's got the wires through the case. He's got the power supply through to the front connections nearest the door. And then he's got the wires for the wall control and for the safety sensors at the back of the unit. Now we're not going to close the back up yet because we have to set the limit travel, up and down limit travel first. And in order to do that, we've got to reconnect the door. All right, so you're going to notice that there's power at the sensors. This left sensor has a red light and a green light. That means that it's powered and aligned. The other sensor has a green light. That lets you know that it's... All right, Hunter's got the operator in the learn limit position, and he's going to run the up limit and set it. Now you can hear how quiet the door is. The spring's noisy, but for how quiet the motor is, the spring in the door is noisy because it's non-insulated. He's going to run that to the desired travel, and he's going to hit the set button. All right, he's got it in the program mode to set the down limit. Now we're going to run the door to the down position. And now the down limit's all set. All right, now we're in the programming mode for the remote. I'm going to stick the remote right up there in front of the camera. I'm going to hit the button. Now we've got the remote program, and we can function it from the remote. You'll notice I just stopped it. We're going to close it back down. So we're going to check the down limit, make sure the door goes down as far as we'd like it to. Now we're going to run it up and see if it goes up as far as we'd like it to. And that all looks great. That's all set. Now that we've got the rear cover engaged, the lighting is on and you can see how bright that LED lighting is. Never come into a dark garage again. Thanks for watching our video. Habpro Garage Doors at habprogaragedoors.com. 770-985-3355 for all your garage door and opener needs.
Watch the linear model 861 garage door operator unboxing now.